Doing good as well. You have a good one.
Yeah, man.
Family? No.
Take care. It is not.
I know the way.
It's baby. Holy crap. I picking up some Wi-Fi here that is not even existing. Wow. I think I finally got the right Wi-Fi. We shall see. Nobody said I get cut off, but I realize you're far away. Hi Giselle, how are you? Yeah, let's dive in, man.
Well, thank you for staying here with us on Power 2.1 FM. Very special thanks as always to 9 Miles International, kicking off our evening into nighttime programming here on Power 2.1 FM. And a very special good evening to you. We do welcome you to Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime program, Sexplosion, with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located in St. Augustine, where he do treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. And a very special good evening to you, my big brother.
Pleasant good evening to you, a pleasant good evening to everyone. Those of you on social media, sorry to have you at my side, but it's the only way you could get to see this guy here. And I know we have some challenges with hearing what...
Well, first of all,
Where?
I'm not hearing you. That sounds
That's
much
better?
That's much
You hear me now?
That's much better.
So my apologies for those of you on social media. We're trying to get a feed so that you can hear what's going on in the studio when somebody calls, especially with the questions. You know, I had someone tell me about that tonight. Pleasant good evening to RM.
Yeah.
I see we have some lovely ladies on here. Izzy's on already.
Well,
We have Renuka, we have Amanda, we have Amita, we have, I see Dr. Raj is on, but that's the girls from the DBA office. Telja, Giselle, my good friend, classmate. Today I went to a funeral.
but before going forward, I want to say a very special good evening to a very special lady.
To me? Oh, a lady.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Her name is Avian. I think her second name is Bocage, but I know for a fact her first name is Avian, and she's from the Surgical, the Alice Glen brand. Beautiful lady.
Well, pleasant good evening to Avia.
Yes.
Hopefully she'll come here and one of these days
Yes,
you'll
I
get her to come and
yeah.
visit us at the studio because you've been visiting her there.
Very pleasant, I tell you.
Priya, we have Arvin, we have Seema, we have Sushila. How are you, my darling? Amelia, Sally, Sasha, Anil. Oh, we have a nice audience building up here, international and local. Yes, so I was telling you, I went to this funeral today. But before I do that, a pleasant good evening to all the ladies out there.
Yeah.
Today's International Women's Day,
Yes.
and I have a lot to say about that. Not bad things, good things, because women.
But I know you don't.
Women is what have us here. You know?
Yes, but I know you don't say.
And you know, I believe in the empowerment of women in all ways, because my mother was the backbone, well, is the backbone of our family. She is the one that, despite the fact that my father was had the degree on paper, she was the one who actually had the degree.
She was the one who made the major decisions.
She's the one who made us who we are.
Yeah.
I accredit everything in terms of our way of life and the things that we did as far as religion and business and whatnot, our ethics and whatnot. Our mother instilled that in us. My father to a point, but my mother was really the strength of the entire family. She is the strength of the entire family. My father is there. She takes care of everyone. And I know the power of a woman. And I've always respected that. You know, my mother was always my best friend growing up. And, you know, I never call her mom. I used to call her Mumsy. That stuck, you know, because to me she was more than a mother. She taught me so many things. And that made me, it molded me into the individual I am as far as respecting women and understanding that they play a very important role in lives of men. You know, the question that was asked on Power 102 this morning, which I think was an injustice to women, are men and women equal? We could never be equal. There's no way there's equality among men and women. If you're talking about, if it comes to politics and business and whatnot, are we on equal footing? As far as that is concerned, or wages and whatnot, I think that's debatable. Depends on where you're from. But I know a lot of women who are CEOs and business-minded individuals in this country who have the reign of power financially. And I come from an East Indian home where the woman has the financial reign. I know that. They control the purses and they have that part of it. We as men, we do certain things and whatnot, and we like to think that we have that financial independence, but it's really the woman that really runs the household. You give a woman $100 and she could give you a meal beyond anything you could imagine.
And still have extras.
And still have extras, and she will have something put aside for a rainy day also. No man could do that.
No.
It's very difficult for a man to do that. Although you find men in financial institutions telling you how to save and whatnot, it's the women who know how to do that. So sometimes, yes, there's a disparity there, but I'll tell you something, we cannot be equal to women. Women are way ahead of us. Way ahead of us. And I don't think that they should ever fight for equality as far as that is concerned, to be equal to men. Because, first of all, a woman is very special. You know, in Hinduism, it teaches you after God is your mother.
Yeah.
Well, your parents, but your mother is more important because your mother brings you into the world. That's the vessel by which you transform from the super soul into the Paramatma, into the Atma. Your Atma comes through your mother, so that vessel, a man cannot be that vessel. We are part of what the process, but we are not the vessel. So the importance of that is very important to note, and these are the things that we have to look at. And for those of us who have had mothers in our lives who are very strong and whatnot, and who I know most persons, you know, they were brought up by their mother, despite the fact that they had both parents in the home. The mother was the disciplinarian, the mother was the one who actually made things work. So she was like the CEO of the company, making things work in the right way.
The backbone.
The CFO. Yeah, the backbone. So, to all the ladies out there, please note that Sexplosion celebrates women in all form and fashion. Of course, in the sexual sense, there's nothing more sexier than a woman.
No.
There is nothing more alluring than a woman. There is nothing sweeter than a woman.
Yeah.
So, what can I say? In every possible way you think about it, a woman is boss.
Even sometimes when they're vexed, they're still beautiful.
Of course. Of course. You see the beauty of a woman at all times, even when they're raving mad at you.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes if you just sit back and look at them and say, okay, yes, it's that beauty there. I see my good friend Indra is on also. How are you? Like I said, I was telling you, I went to a funeral of a dear friend of the family who passed away. This is a very close friend of the family. And I met some of my classmates there because one of my classmates who was my best friend at primary school, he got married to one of the daughters. And I saw my darling Judy and Indra, and I always tell Judy in jest that she's the one who made me who I am today, because in Form 1, they put me to sit down next to Judy when they wanted to separate Kishore and I.
Oh.
So they put Kishore to sit next to a young lady named Beverly Stewart, and they put me to sit down with Judy Jennings. That was a good combination.
That was a big mistake.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
The form teacher thought he was doing something to us, but he had no idea that things were being done to us. No, I don't mean in a sexual way. I mean,
no.
Judy and I have been friends from primary school. Her brother and I were very, very close.
Yeah.
Her father and my father was very, very close. So we were more than friends. We were family. So when you take me and you put me next to Judy Jennings, thinking that this girl may not have a connection to you, you were wrong, because we practically grew up in each other's home. So we knew each other very closely and very intimately. So it was you can
No, you can't separate.
you can't
separate
put me
something.
sit down next to Judy Jennings. But I didn't say anything.
Mhm.
As if the teacher's stupid enough to do that. I take it. Because you know, when you're behaving bad in their class, they just put the boys to sit down with a girl. Don't do that with me.
No.
But I think the teachers would have figured that out by Form 2. There are certain things we just can't do with this young man. We'll end up in more trouble than anything
So
else.
they found out in advance.
Well, they found out the hard way.
The hard way.
Yeah.
So,
But I always love seeing my classmates because of that close connectivity that we have. Giselle and her brother, you know, we did lessons together in primary school, and I always remember the power of the women out there, and especially interacting with women. And I'll tell you something: who you are today is molded from your past. You know, a lot of people don't pay attention to their past and pay homage to things that happened to you in the past because you think that you're your own man. Some men think that I'm my own man, that nobody had any influence on me to be who I am today, but it is. That's a fact. So you have to look at that.
anyway, folks, taking our time, 14 minutes after 9 o'clock, you are on the inside of Sexplosion with the only sexologist, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center that's located in St. Augustine. We're going to take a break and come right back at you. Stay tuned.
Carnival 2019 has been heralded in many regards as one of the best in decades. There are many elements of Carnival, including mass, pan, chutney, calypso, soca, national security, and for the most part, they all received glowing reviews. Power 102 presents.
When you open up the lines, you'll have to test this. I want to make sure that we're hearing. So when you open up the lines, did you pull it on there so you won't get a feedback?
Join us this Wednesday as we speak to the many stakeholders, participants, and
I don't want to
victims
get
that
enough feedback
contributed to
here.
what we call the greatest show on earth. In Focus, Carnival 2019 review.
That feedback will sound good in your ears.
Power 102, empowering you. Sexplosion is on Power 102. And now on new days and at new times. The country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. Your largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102. Empowering you.
Well, continue that you are making radio an experience by itself when you're listening to Sexplosion right here on Power 102.1 FM with Dr. Raj Ramnanan. Well, here's where we give you the opportunity to interact with Dr. Raj. We know a lot of you might have something sexual that might be bothering you and you need to get answers to. All you've got to do is give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining, exclusively on Power 102 FM.
I see my good friend Derek Tony is on, one of my classmates. I see my cousin Kiki is on, better known as Kishore. He's in New York. I'm sure he has some stranger listening to this program. So whoever is that stranger with Kishore, pleasant good evening to you, sir or ma'am. That's one of the things that you do. You always market this program in New York City. So
That's great.
that's fantastic for us. I see my other cousin is on, David. He's in New Jersey. He has a club in New Jersey. So right now I'm sure he's busy in the kitchen cooking and also taking in the program. And my darling June is on. That's another NAC classmate of mine. I like when my classmate comes on because it I feel so connected to them that I really appreciate that. So pleasant good evening to Melissa. I think Melissa is in Rio Claro, your favorite place. But Junior opened up a can of worms last night, when you started to talk about the angels and the things that were done here. And I went home and I told my wife what Junior was talking about. I didn't say that I was talking about it. I said Junior brought it up.
So you put the rap on me, right?
But you brought it up, I didn't bring it up. I wasn't telling a lie. So I tell she, I said, people want to see what them angels used to do in the studio. She just laughed. She said, if they only knew.
I am telling you.
But I know some fortunate individuals out there will see it, and some of the angels will attest it. Some of them would say, please don't remind me of those things. I remember when one was getting married about 5 years ago, she called me up and she said, Raj, you could make sure that those things nowhere around. I said, don't worry, nobody will know about it. Your husband will never know unless you tell him.
But of course.
I say I wouldn't tell him anything. If he comes and asks me, I have nothing to show him. And
yeah, but especially to give him the confidence of a good marriage, what she could have mentioned to him is that she used to do a program called Sexplosion.
I don't think he wanted to know that. There are some guys who can't handle that, Junior. Sex is such a touchy topic. You may have, what I have found out, and this is from my own internal research, I have found that we all have that kinky fetish side of us, inside of us somewhere, locked away. Because you were trained to lock that away as a young man or woman. You were trained to say, I am not sexual, I shouldn't be showing off parts of my body, and I shouldn't want sex. Sex is dirty, and sex is bad, and sex is not something I should embrace. And the majority of the time, that is because of the environment in which you grew up, your parents, your religious belief, and those things will control that. And again, that's society. I'm not condemning it. I'm just telling you that's what happens. You go to school, you're not allowed to express your sexual side. You working. I know they're passing laws. And again, I always say, what is legal today will be legal tomorrow, and what is illegal tomorrow will be legal today. And that's how it is. It's always the reverse. And as time goes by, look, you see they're passing legislation for sexual harassment. I'm not saying that they should not. But we have this attitude that if this is bad, take a brush and paint all here. That's the attitude we have as society. I'm not talking about Trinidad, I'm not talking about throughout the world. Overall. We have this attitude. If one little thing is bad, okay, for example, speeding is bad. So if you're going on a road that you could drive 80 kilometers, we'll put it 50. For wickedness. There's a wicked attitude in dealing with these things. It is not that somebody sits down and say, here what? That road is designed for 80 kilometers. It's safe. We have never had an accident on that road. I think that it could remain at 80. No. It's like when you're going to Davie, you come off of 100, you go into 80, and then you go down to 20. Do you know that? And there are police waiting there to give you a ticket, Yeah,
but that's a
from 100 to 80 to 20 within a kilometer.
That's a big drop.
Within a kilometer, from 100 to 80 to 20. But it's wickedness. We are just wicked people. And I'm talking about generally anyone who sits and writes laws and whatnot. And you know what they tell themselves? I will never be caught in that. But they forget that one day you are part of an organization to pass laws and make laws. The next day you are just a civilian. That's what we forget. We lose touch with reality. I am Dr. Raj now. I will always be Dr. Raj. I may not be a sexologist all my life. There will come a time when I retire from that profession. I'll still be Dr. Raj. But I don't do anything that I'm going to regret later on in life. Or anything that is going to cause harm or cause a person to say, well, you know that son of a bitch, I don't want to hear nothing about him. I try my best not to. I know you cannot please everyone.
Well, of course not.
But what I'm saying is we are a society that does these things. We are wicked to ourselves. So it's the same thing with sex. Now, just now you have to be very careful complimenting a woman if she's dressed properly, because she could take you to task for sexual harassment. If I say, girl, that you look very nice in that skirt, and she's like, you're watching my body? Let me go to the HR department. So just now you have to go to work with blinders like this.
So you have to be very careful.
You have to be very careful, and again, it's because we take this 6-inch brush
Yeah.
to paint over where a little brush could pass, one of those brushes that you learn to paint with in high school. That's what we do. We take a hammer to kill a fly. We don't do things the right way. And it's because our society is bent on punishment. Everyone should be punished all the time. If you have a sexual feeling, your family should punish you. You shouldn't think about sex. You shouldn't like sex. What's wrong with you, boy? You're a pervert. That's the first thing they tell you. You're a pervert. They use all kind of derogatory terms. If a woman likes somebody, that's why with this, I was looking at the news this evening, and there was a woman who portrayed herself for Carnival, and people were shaming her because she was overweight. But why? There are people, I just tell persons, sometimes they come to my organization and they say, well, I like the girls that you have here, but this one, I say, let me tell you something. The girls who are hired here is to do a job. Not everyone could like everyone. I don't hire them because I like them because they are particular size, shape, color, or race. I don't look at that. I look at qualification and what they can do. Full stop. Across the board.
Yeah.
Across the board. You could be sexy as hell and dumb, you're getting the job. You're not getting the job if the job entails you using your brain.
Yeah.
Right? And if after I give you the job, I constantly assess my workers. And if you cannot keep up with it, because sometimes they make mistakes because they're nervous, and sometimes when you come around, you can see that. So I move away, and I get a report from the supervisor. Tell me how this person is working. Is she fulfilling her role? Is he fulfilling his role? But that's what you have to do. You can't punish people because of the way they look and race and religion and all these things.
You can't judge people like that.
But there are individuals who do that. I remember when we had our store in Sangran, it doesn't matter what race or religion or background you came from. You had a job, you could get a job by us. At any one time during Christmas, there were 50-something women working for us, young girls who was going to school and needed money for their book bag and this, that, and my father will give them a job. Because at the end of the day, they had to buy something to go to school, and that is what we grew up with. But in terms of sexuality now, when a woman expresses herself sexually, everyone jumps down on her. Her brothers, her sister, her mother, her father, the neighbor. You are married to a man, you're expressing yourself in a particular way. Your husband have no problem with it, but the neighbor next door have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So what is the issue? The issue is that we use standards that we want for ourselves, or things that are impossible for we to deal with ourselves, to judge others. I've had women, right now I'm chatting with a young lady, and she's very, what we will call vanilla when it comes to sex. But I understand why she is that way. Not everyone would like sex the way we like it, with all the trimmings and all the toppings and everything else.
Well, everyone is different.
Everyone is different, so you got to understand that and you got to embrace that. But at the same time, if the person is reaching out to you for something, if the person is putting out their hands to you, you stretch to meet them. They talk about a relationship should be 50-50. It's never 50-50. Sometimes you have to put 95% and the other person's putting 5%, but at least they're putting something into it.
Yeah.
But your sexuality, we have been taught and we have been trained and we have been programmed to hide and try to lock away in a vault our sexuality and our behavior and our. I'm not saying that you have to be promiscuous. I'm not saying that. There are some persons who go overboard. I'm not talking about going overboard. But if you want to explore yourself, at the end of the day, Junior, and I always say that, and I tell you that plain in front of your face, nobody could make you happy but you.
You got to make yourself happy.
Don't wait for your wife to make you happy or your husband to make you happy. As a matter of fact, you try to make them as happy as possible. People ask me, what is the success of my relationship? I treat my wife like a queen. Because she is that to me. It doesn't mean to say we don't quarrel. Almost every day we will have an argument about something. Because I hot-headed and whatnot, and she's the calming influence, and I may say something in a harsh way, and she'll just look at me, and that's the end of that. It's done. It's done.
They don't carry on.
No, it don't carry on, because that is how we deal with each other, with the utmost respect. I told her what about the archangels and whatnot, and she was here twice with the archangel.
Yes.
So she knows. So she knows. An archangel used to tell her everything, because they were best friends, right? So she knew what went on in the studio, but she never questioned me and say, well, why was this done? Who were you doing this with? you know, why this girl was sitting on you. Never. Never ask that question, because at the end of the day, it is what I do. And I made it clear from day one.
Yeah.
But we fool ourselves into lying and thinking that I must always hide things and I must just show my true side. Oh, God damn it, man. Your true side is your true side.
Yes.
Who you are is who you are. God made you that way.
Nobody can change that, as a matter.
You know, I was looking at a show last night after I left here. You know, program finished at 9. I had to drop Prashant home, and then I went home, and I was looking. My wife liked to look at comedy, so sometimes TV doesn't end up looking at her. So I ended up looking at the television, and there's some comedies that I really enjoy. And this guy called a rabbi to ask him about changing his religion. Right? And the rabbi asked him, why should you change your religion? You know, and he said, well, I want to be like so and so. He said, what when God asked you, why weren't you this person that I made you? And that's what I believe.
Yeah. Be yourself.
I believe what God made you is what God made you. You have to take that and mold it and put it forward and not hide behind a facade and say, okay, I am this. My children knew what I was doing when they were babies. When I got a job at Power 102 to do a sex program 19 years ago, as a matter of fact, on the 30th of this month will be 19 years, the start of our 19th year. Right? When I was given that opportunity, I went to my daughter first to get permission, and she said, Daddy, that's what you do. You don't need my permission? I said, yes, I do, because it's going to impact your life. And I understood that. I knew my wife told me from the very beginning, whatever you want to do as far as sex and things is concerned, that's your business, you do it well, go ahead with it. You have my blessings. And she always stood with me. Not one day I can say my wife ever turned her back on that. Never. And that's one thing I admire about her. Despite the fact that she got flack from every member of family and everything that you could think about and everyone you could think about.
She's behind you.
But that's why she is a recluse from family members and whatnot. She stay away from everyone. She has no friends. Because if someone has something bad to say to her, she'll write you off one time.
Okay.
One time. Because she already knows where she stands and what she wants, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right? But the point is that I was always truthful as to who I was. And I didn't make a mockery out of it and lie and hide and whatnot. But I keep telling people, after we come back from the break, I keep telling people this is the formula if you want a successful relationship. So let's take a break.
You're listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM on this Friday with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center.
94 and Vempod present Think Twice.
Think twice.
We celebrate life and promote safety on the nation's roads.
Think twice. On the roads, in your cars, for our pedestrians and cyclists.
Think twice before you drive, act, and go about your daily lives.
Every life is precious, and we must each do our part to preserve lives on the roads of Trinidad and Tobago.
Think twice.
Every day, we give you life-saving tips and advice on how you can safely use our roads and highways in Trinidad and Tobago. We also invite you to download the Safety app, which you can use to share messages and information in your very own private networks between family and friends and co-workers, all to keep each other safer.
Think twice.
Brought to you by the Vehicle Management Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, VEMCOT, in association with Arrive Alive and the TTPS, Neil and Massey North Credit Union, the Galette Group of Companies, Agricola Credit Union, and Computers and Controls.
Think twice.
Think twice.
Safety for you and your family.
Think twice.
And a safer Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, I can tell you that nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education, right here on Power 102.1 FM every Thursday and Friday evening with sexologist Dr. Raj. He comes in, sits here with us, take your questions. When you dial the phone, as a matter of fact, I'm going to give you those numbers again, 222-8255, also at 612-8255. You know, some of you are a bit shy to hear your voice on radio, and we don't ever call your name on air. So you can, that's a guarantee.
Unless you want us to call it.
Unless you want us to do that. And you can send in your WhatsApp or your text messages at 740-1961. That's 740-1961. May I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
I see one of our angels is on. I'm not going to call any name.
Okay.
I hope she continues listening. Pleasant good evening to Natalie, Kareem, Jennifer, Sexy Jennifer, Jason, Usha, Zaida. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday to you, Zaida. She's one person who's always locked on to the program. I know for years she has been listening to this program. So I don't want to ask you your age, but happy birthday to you. Question was asked: can a woman in her 60s get pregnant? Yes, you can get pregnant, as long as you're having a period. Okay. Daniel is always locked on. I know that he's from deep south and he's always locked on to our program. Daniel Ragbear. He's one person who has been supporting this program for many years. And pleasant good evening to you, sir. Gia, how are you, darling? She's using this.
I see that smile on your face. I see that.
She's
smile
using this phrase that I'm afraid to use on the air
I see that smile on your face.
because I don't know what it means. It has my name in it, but I don't know what it means. So I just have to be careful with what I say. Asha is locked on. Asha and Jason is locked on from Arima.
Your family. Man.
Pleasant good evening to you. And I know they have been on the program live with us in the studio. So those of you who want to come down live, like Izzy, who have made threats to me about coming to the studio and doing certain things, and Nikki making threats last night. I call it a threat because if you don't make it come to fruition, it is a threat.
Yes, but why it is a lot of them say they're going to come in and they back out on the last minute?
Because at the heat of the moment, you see, it's like sex. If you have had the experiences that you and I have had, and you find yourself in situations, and a person will say, you see me, I will never do that. Before it, I will never do that. It's that I find that too nasty, too disgusting. I wouldn't even consider that. But in the heat of the moment of sex, you find them doing it and you're like, I thought you said you'll never do that. But that's the heat of the moment. So the heat of the moment with the program, people listening to your voice, they're listening to my voice, they're hearing what the program is about. There are women out there who are right now, they're hot. Sexually hot. There are men out there who are turned on. And you have to understand that that's the power of radio, that's the power of your imagination. Radio is theater of the mind. If I talk, like when I go into a description of a sexual position, there were times that you will hear people moaning and groaning on the phone when they call in because they are being turned on and they are being sexually activated. That's the power of the voice. That is what made Hitler so powerful. People don't really study history the way it should be studied. They will condemn Hitler and say he was a madman. He was this and if he was a madman, he got a whole country to go to war against the world. That is power. That is not a madness. That is power.
Well, you rightfully mentioned, because I know sometimes during the program when you are expressing sexual positions, people call and tell you, express themselves how they're feeling at the present
yes, because
moment.
that's the power of the voice, that's the power of radio, that's the power of getting into people's head. There are women out there who touch themselves while they're hearing this program. There are women who get horny. Women, at the end of every program, I could tell you I get 4 or 5 requests for sex. I'm not saying that in a boastful way, I'm just telling you the reality of what happens. Pleasant good evening to you, Kavita. How are you? But it is the power of language. That's why, there are lots of us who grow up, no matter what part of Trinidad, you grow up in Trinidad and Tobago, and you hear Indian song, and you understand a word of it, but you're crying, or you're feeling sad, or you like the song, and you can't say why.
I had that experience.
Well, right, but why? That's the power of language. So when Hitler stood in front of his people and he started to pound his fist on his hand and talk to the people, he riled them up. He got them where he wanted them and he had power over them. And that power would translate into war. Same thing with Gandhi. Gandhi had power over, well, in those days it wasn't 1 million people, it was 300,000 people. He had power over 300,000 people to defeat the British without a single bullet. Without a single bullet. That's the power of language and the power of radio. So we have a powerful force here. So if there are women, and one of the problems that we find in society, today being the International Women's Day, one of the powers we find in our society, one of the problems we find in our society is women who want to express themselves sexually to their partner, to their husband, and the husband is intimidated by it and say, woman, where you get that thing from? Who teach you that? Which man you honor me with? But it's because she's reading, because she's listening to this program, because she's feeling empowered sexually, she wants to do it with her husband. And there's some men who are intimidated by it. They can't face the fact that a woman has a brain and she could decide that she wants to do certain things.
Yeah.
And that is so foolish. Why can't she initiate things? Why can't she make suggestions? There are women, there are men out there who complain, my wife does never initiate sex, but the day she initiates sex is like, so where you learn that from? Which man teach you that? Like you honor me or? But that's the reaction that they get.
That is definitely the reaction, because
A woman do a different wine, you're having sex, and all of a sudden she instead of going clockwise, she go counterclockwise. You start thinking, I wonder if she learned that boy, I wonder if she having sex with somebody else boy.
oh, they
Or
might
the
be-
vagina is well lubricated, so it's a little slack and it's, I wonder who was inside there before. God, boy, stop thinking like that.
Yeah. And the first thing that would pops into their minds too is that that is something that she never did with me before.
Correct. But I'm not saying all women are saints. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the empowerment of women also starts in their sexual expression, in who they are sexually.
Yeah.
And for they to bring that forward, they bring it forward in the privacy of their bedroom. A woman put on a sexy negligee, she come and lie down next to you, she touching you with her foot, you might kick she away and say, why you doing that, girl? Your foot cool. It's because she wants you to warm up her foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your job is now is to embrace her feet and massage it, kiss it up, make love to it, because she's expressing herself. She might not come and say, well, I want you to massage my foot. But that's what she's doing. When a woman stretches out and touches you in a particular way, it's not because she wants sex, it's because she's reaching out for you. She's reaching out for that touch, that warmth,
That feeling.
that feeling of love, that feeling of appreciation. Every evening, my wife and I sit in a particular area and have our dinner and we watch the news. And her feet is always on my lap. And I will massage her feet. I just automatically will do those things because whether she wants it or not, that's what I do because I think that is what she's looking forward for subconsciously because you have created that. You have created that scenario where that is what will happen. So go for it. Do it. It must be automatic between you and your partner. Things when you meet your lover, there are things that's supposed to be automatic between both of you. That you don't have to say words. You don't have to say, well, take out your clothes. Or you don't have to say, well, drop your drawers or drop your panty. It happens. It just happens naturally.
And it's the most enjoyable thing.
Of course.
Then rather
But the best
plan
part of it is you being intimate with your partner. And there are women who are not allowed to be intimate with their partner because their partners question every single thing that they do. So let's open up the lines. Let's get the thoughts of women out there. Let's hear from the women
especially
as far as
international.
those things are concerned. If they face with those challenges, we'll try to help them to overcome it because there are ways to overcome everything. You know?
Yeah.
That's why at the Adult Therapy Center in St. Augustine, I deal with those things every day. And not only sex therapy, but I also deal with counseling. I deal with women who have issues like that, men who have issues like that. They will call me. They will come and see me. We'll go through things. They will go through scenarios. Today I have to tell a couple here what I go teach all you how to have sex.
Yeah.
I said not at this session. The next time you all come back because you all having sex the wrong way. But I didn't say it in a disparaging way. I told them they were making a joke out of it, but they were having sex the wrong way. So there is nothing there to stimulate the thought and mind of the husband because the husband is experienced and the wife is just seen it as a joke. So you're having sex the wrong way. Some people don't engage in a long period of foreplay. But again, use your brain. That is where sex starts. It starts here. So start using your brain and picture what you want and how you want to go about doing it. Won't you the kind of person that when you were younger and your boyfriend coming to meet you, you'll create a scenario in your head, okay, we'll sit here, I'll bring him a cup of water, I'll bring him a cup of tea, and I'll go close to him, and we go hold hands, I know mommy and daddy watching us, and I used to create all this. Don't tell me you never used to do that. No. If you never used to do that, you lie, you damn lie. You're going to meet the girl and you study well. I wonder how I could get close to she, I wonder if I'll get to touch her hand. I mean from our days, because nowadays you go and just hold a woman hand and that's not.
And then you're hoping that the mother leave the room to make some
For
kind of-
2 seconds.
2 seconds.
You want the mother you glad if the mother get hot pee and she want to go pee.
You know how much things you can do in 2 seconds?
I could tell you about that one.
You could do a lot. Anyway, folks, just to remind you that the lines are open. You're listening, you're making radio an experience by itself when you are listening to Sexplosion right here on Power 102.1 FM. The guru of sex education, Dr. Raj, rounding in of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center located in St. Augustine, where he do treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Well, for those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj, feel free. Our lines are open at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining, exclusively on Power 102.1 FM. And may I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
Carlos is locked on, but
Hey.
he's out there in Tobago.
Wow. Okay.
So Carlos has left Belmont, he has left where Chaguanas, I think he was in Chaguanas, and now he's in Tobago. You're running the man.
And nice family.
So RM asked a question about why do men hesitate to go down? Well, I know in Trinidad men don't hesitate to go down.
No, I go
Very rare.
very, very rare.
Trinidadians like to go down, but a lot of times I have found from my research and whatnot, as men get complacent in their relationship, they with their wife, they have their wife have children, they start looking at the wife as a sister, they start looking at the wife as a homemaker, and they kind of lose the intimacy and the
Yeah.
sexiness. Me, when I watch my wife, I say, see a sexy woman. I said, full stop. I was pinching she bottom. Yeah, she has getting vexed for that too. But not vexed in the sense I get vexed.
And we okay.
And you know, she
a smile vex.
Yeah, a smile vex. Right. And then she say, hey. She has this way of saying, hey. But you have to always see your wife as that sexy woman. You have to do that. You have to initiate things. You have to be able, your lover is your lover. You know? You have to make that very, very clear. You know? And I made that clear to my children. I said, that's all your mother. Yes. But I'm my lover. Understand that.
So you put that to the forefront.
When they were 7 and 9 years old, and I told them that. I said that, don't get tied up with that. I said that the woman I love, and that's not going to change that. That's all your mother. I understand. I respect that.
Because of her, you're here.
Yeah. But you have to always constantly be mindful of that without you thinking that I have to be like that. It must be automatic.
But I'll tell you something, some men get spoiled in the sense that when you first get into a relationship, when you first get into your marriage, they would go down, eh? But then after a couple of years, I don't know what other outlook that they have, but they don't do those things again.
Because, okay, as you age, and I tell persons this also, as you age, you need more of a stimulation. But if you constantly thinking about your partner not in a slutty way, or not in a perversive way, but that this person is a sexy woman, or this man is a sexy man, and I love this man, I love this woman, and I would like to be with this person, it becomes automatic and easy. And I see my darling Bina has joined us. I haven't seen Bina for so many years.
Yes, you see, kind of.
This is one of the original Shiv Shakti dancers.
Oh, how do you say dancers?
No, they have something coming up this weekend. Don't worry, he promised me he was by me.
I'm still waiting.
He was by me a month ago, and he promised.
I'm still waiting.
He promised that he's going to come here with some of the dancers. So that is going to happen.
Okay.
But I was going to hit them up for tonight, but they have a show to do. So don't worry about that.
Because I made a note of that, eh?
I know that. And I know you write down that. I'm going to be written in your brain.
But as a matter of fact, it almost took up a whole page.
Aye. Yes, so that part of you, that sensual, we all have that. I tell you from my research, we all have that sensual side within us. But what do? It's like a seed. We all have a seed. We all have something inside of us that needs to germinate.
Yeah.
But for that to germinate, something has to die. A seed has to die for a plant to grow out of it. Now, I'm not talking about a dead seed. I'm talking about a seed. Because the husk breaks open and the seed germinates. It's the same thing with an idea or a feeling or a fetish or a fantasy. The minute you bring a fantasy out in the universe and you put it out there to someone, either two things happen, either it gets worse for you or somebody makes it better for you. And I always believe in making it better for the person. So no matter what the fantasy may be, as long as you tell me and you give me the opportunity to make it happen for you, I will make it happen for you. Because I have seen countless times, and especially in our society in Trinidad and Tobago, and it doesn't matter if you come from an East Indian background, African background, a mixed background, or whatever, we neglect our women after a certain time.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We take them for granted.
Yeah.
We think our women are just there to cook, wash, iron, take care of the home. The children now are grown up and the children have to go to school and now they're married and whatnot. And the wife is just there as not even a trophy. Because you don't treat her as a trophy.
You don't treat her as when you first met her at all.
Well, that's the problem we have in our societies. That's why I tell you, we use a sledgehammer to kill a fly. We take a big brush to paint over a little spot. A dot on the wall, we take a whole paintbrush to do that, a whole can of paint. It's the same thing with our love life. The little things that we could be doing that becomes automatic with us throughout our life. We don't grow that. We don't feed it. We don't give it enough nourishment. Anything that has to grow needs nourishment.
Yes, like for instance, when you're going out with someone and you've just started a relationship, you would take them, I mean, you leave them as, in our old age, we would take a drive around the savannah or something like that. And after a period of time, into that particular relationship now, you don't even bother to say, family, let's go out. You wouldn't make that step.
No, long ago you will make an excuse to pass by a girlfriend and pick you up in the car and go for a drive, and you want to go by the seaside, and you want to go by the river, or you want to go and watch a movie, or you're car racing and you want to carry her. You're making every excuse just to be with her.
Yeah.
So what happens later on? What happened? What changed so much that later on in life you don't want to be nowhere near your wife? You prefer to stop by the rum shop and drink with the boys? You prefer to go and play cards all night? You prefer to go fishing?
Yeah.
Or hunting? Leave your wife at home? You prefer to do these
But
things?
when you start a relationship, you ain't even thinking about the boys, you know.
No, the boys is telling boy, like you get pussy with boy. Hey, we can't find it at all.
You're not thinking about the boys at all.
No, we're calling up the boys. Hey, fellas, all you doing nothing tonight?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But let that same person start a new relationship with another woman or another man and see what happens. Everything comes back.
Yeah.
Because they'll say the newness of it. But why wait for the newness of it? Keep the newness in your relationships.
Keep it alive.
That is what you have to do.
But just to remind you that you are listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. Sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan, our Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center located in St. Augustine. Folks, we really want you to call in, give us anything that you might have been experiencing sexual, and sometimes you need to get answers to. Feel free, call Dr. Raj, he's sitting right here, 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining, exclusively on Power 102.1 FM. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM. Yeah.
You need to keep the fire burning in your relationship. Don't wait for your wife to do it, and the wife don't wait for your husband to do it.
Right. Yeah.
It must be both parties doing it, and it should never be 50-50. Whatever you put out there, I am sure women express themselves in many different ways. They express themselves in the way they treat you at home, the foods that they cook for you, the simple little things. That is love, you know. Some women can't tell you, I love you, but they will do everything that you like, every single thing that you like, just to show you how much they love you.
The actions.
Their action speaks louder than
Oh,
words.
yes. Oh, yeah.
Right? Some men cannot bring themselves to say, I love you. I don't know why those three words are difficult, but you know when you're tracking a woman, I think it's easy for you to say it.
Money,
If you're fooling a woman to get peace,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
easy to say, girl, I love you, I love
Oh,
you
yes.
too bad, you know.
Yeah.
And as you get the peace, you love God.
Yeah. Out of the door.
But why? Why do we have to lie and do tricks upon one another?
Yeah, but that's men mentality, eh?
Well, yes, but it has to change. Junior, we cannot just rock back and say, okay, that's a Trinidadian mentality, that is men mentality, that is a woman's mentality, and not tell people you need to change those things. We have to. We have a responsibility, a social responsibility to get people to change those things. Don't just take it for granted. That's why I say, you're 30, 40 years into your marriage. Why not look at your wife or your husband as that sexy person that you always want to have sex with? What's wrong with you? You think sex dies at 40? You think sex dies at 70? Unless you're preparing yourself mentally for death. There are some persons who do that and they renounce everything and whatnot, and they renounce sex and whatnot. Unless you have taken that road, why not? Why not still be that loving? I have had persons in their 70s coming for consultation because their wife has passed away. They find somebody now. They didn't realize that they would have wanted to continue with their sex life, and they just want a little boost to go on. A little recharge. The battery need a little recharging.
Charging up.
So I say, yeah, uncle, there ain't no problem. What do you think I should stop having sex? No, you know why you should stop having. You should stop having sex when you feel that you should stop having sex. According to Sparrow, Willie shouldn't die before you. When Willie gone, you want to go too.
True.
I wish people should listen to these songs, you know. There's so much messages in it. And men especially. We come here together, we're supposed to go together. Unless you make a conscious decision, this is, you want to renounce sex and you want to change your life or whatever you want to do, for whatever reason, religious or otherwise.
Well, I can tell you that we are giving all listeners what they want and expect from a good radio program when it comes to sex education. Right here on Power 102.1 FM, nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education, taking it to a whole new level. For those of you who want to interact, feel free. Dr. Raj is here with us this Friday evening, 222-8255, also at 612-8255. You can send him a WhatsApp. You know, some of you are a bit shy to hear your voice on radio, and we don't call anyone's name on air unless you want us to do that. You can send him a WhatsApp on 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM.
Pleasant good evening, doctor.
We go to the lines.
Yes, let's do that. So now you know what you have to do.
Hi, hello, and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Let me sit on the radio. Hold on a second.
Yes, please.
My apologies. Okay. The thing is, I am involved with someone who is significantly older than me, like 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when I want to be intimate with him, he's a little apprehensive and whatnot. And I'm thinking maybe he's angiopause. And then there are times when he makes me feel like
It's andropause,
I am
not
probably
angio.
a little bit too aggressive.
It's andropause, not angio.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm just correcting that because angio has to do with the
Thank
heart.
you.
Andropause is something totally different. So yeah, but how old is he?
51.
Okay. At 51 years of age, remember I was talking about the transition of men, and the more you experience certain things, the more it will take to stimulate you.
Right.
So sometimes it's not their fault, you know. Sometimes it's the mental stimulation is not there. The physical stimulation has to be transformed. Somebody just made a threat to me here that they concerning a massage, and I will tell you something. A massage is such a relaxing thing, and I use the word threat very lightly, but sometimes that is the prelude to something sexual.
Right.
Because it relaxes the individual and doesn't put them under the stress of saying, oh God, I have to get into this thing. Because you don't know what's going through the mind of the individual. Unless, of course, the person expresses it to you. That's why I believe in telling people as it is. I believe in, if I am involved with somebody, if I'm talking to someone or whatever, I tell them, look, it's very difficult to stimulate me. And I make that very, very clear to people. It's very difficult to stimulate me because of the and that is my fault, eh? It is my fault. I don't ever blame anyone for that. Because of the things that I did in that short period of time from my pre-teenage years to my adult years. And then after that, it takes a lot. It just takes a lot. And I know that. So I don't fight it. But some men cannot express that or tell you that, darling, it's because of this is what's happening or whatever. Or it could be medical also. And remember, I don't have all the information, but if you do have the information, you could call me.
I would actually like to make an appointment to meet with you.
Well, you could call me and talk to me about it, or you could make an appointment and come in and see me, and we'll take it from there. But
Yeah.
your lover, you have to find the buttons to push when it comes to that person.
I do, and then I get accused of being aggressive.
Well, that is the point I was making. Why do men accuse women of being too aggressive when we want that? But when we get in it, it's like, why is she so boy? But that is what you want. You want we dream of that,
Because it's like you said earlier, when you look at that person, you have to be attracted to them. That's
The
your
sexual
love. That's the
attraction
person you
must be
wanna
there.
be with.
So, when persons react that way, I know it is a turn off for you. You'll find it
Yeah.
difficult for it
It's not really a turn off. It's kind of
a rejection.
It's daunting because I've never experienced anything like that with any male.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, we've been together almost 2 years, and it's quite an adjustment. I've been making adjustments because I don't want him to feel bad, but at the end of the day, I feel like I am lacking.
Well, I wouldn't be so harsh on you, because if you're initiating and whatnot, and he gets the feeling that you are aggressive, you're not lacking. Maybe you should retool your skills and do it in a different way. That's why I introduced the word massage, for you to maybe do a genital massage or something on him to get him into that mood of relaxation, but at the same time sexually stimulated.
Yeah,
All right? Hello?
I understand. Am I here?
Okay, I just want to make sure. All right?
Well, thank you so much for your advice. If possible, would you give out your number again so that I can call you and make an appointment? and
My
come see you?
cell phone number is 7401961. It's public. Anybody could call me anytime, not
No,
when I'm
I
doing the
know. I
program.
just want them to call it out on the radio again because I just didn't
Yeah.
it down.
And the office number is 6454543. Please don't call me for an appointment. I don't walk around with the appointment book.
Oh,
You could
okay.
call them now and make an appointment because there's someone there until 11 o'clock tonight.
Okay, great.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're
Well,
welcome.
thanks a lot for calling. Sexplosion right here on Power 102.1 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Randanan. Our lines are open for those of you to interact with him live here in studio, 222-8255, also at 612-8255. For those of you sending in your WhatsApp or your text messages, 7401961. And you can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM.
There's a old Japanese saying, be careful of what you wish for, you may get it. Most men wish they have an aggressive woman or a woman who could stimulate them and whatnot. When they get it, it throws them off.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Be careful of what you wish for. But you have to be prepared mentally. You cannot want to be with someone. You are in your 50s and the person is in their 30s. You cannot want to go or 40s and they have a sexual drive that is up here and your sexual drive is down here and expect that person is not going to want you. You have to understand that.
Yes, you
You have to step up.
You have to come up to the plate.
Yes, step up. But most of the times we throw the blame on the woman because again, that is what we do. And on this International Day of Women, we have to stop throwing the blame on women and start to take our blame.
Yeah.
If you're not measuring up, simply say, I cannot measure up because of so and so reasons. Because I know it's egotistical. Because it's hard for a man to say, God, I can't measure up to the woman, because we all feel we can mash up that vagina.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, oh, God, we could mash up that thing. When you hear fellas talking, boy, I mashed up that thing last night. And the wife lied down, they say, but he feel he do something, right?
The first thing that comes into their minds is that, just give me a chance at that.
Man, if I get a chance with she, I will make she see stars. That time you seen stars, you have blisters on the penis. Hi, Dr. Raj, keep up the good work. Me and the wifey want to try a threesome with another girl. Do you know of any group or where you can find people like, well, of course. Get in touch with me. Hi, good evening, Dr. Raj and Junior. Wonderful program from Sexy Alicia.
Alicia.
And RM says she needs a massage. Julia, if you see RM and the
Yeah.
beauty of this woman, you'll want to give her a massage.
Is that right?
Yes, and you know you're well trained to do massages.
Oh yes, of course.
Right, so
Mhm. When she's coming?
it's for the massage. We'll have to elongate this table because right now this table is octagonal. So we have to elongate it so that we have somebody lie flat on the table. We have to cut off the face, the hole for the face.
Yeah.
And we could do the massage right here, you know.
Yeah, as a matter of fact. Especially on a Friday evening.
Friday evening massage.
Yeah. on a Friday.
What if I get one and do a program? I wonder if I could do a program while getting a massage.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you, that would be a good description. You cannot ask for more.
Well, we did that once.
Yeah, I know we did.
Yeah, we did that once about 10, 12 years ago.
12
We
years
actually
ago.
did a
Yeah.
massage in the studio.
12 years ago. It's about exactly
Wow.
12 years ago.
We should do that.
But it's always better the second time around. Always.
And true,
Yeah, always.
after 12 years, I can't remember what happened the first time around. I can remember what happened the second time.
Well, this is the reason why I'm telling you it's always
It
better
will be
the
better.
second time around.
You guarantee that?
Guarantee.
It has to be the right woman, though.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
It has to be the right woman. If it's easy, I know I'm going to enjoy it.
You sure?
I guarantee that. I could guarantee you that.
Oh, you could guarantee. Okay. Okay.
That will be a massage that'll make you. You ever see a man walk up a wall?
Is he always interacting with us on the program?
Uh-huh.
Well, you are basically. But why don't she come down one Friday evening?
She said I'll fall asleep. I
and-
know I will fall asleep.
And
I know I will fall
well,
asleep.
if she comes down and you do fall asleep, I could carry on the program.
I have no problem with that, Junior. That is why I am throwing out the challenge out there. That if someone wants to do that, I am cool with that because I know you're capable.
But I mean, we experienced
Just
that.
don't ask me questions while I'm sleeping.
But we experienced that in the past. You sat there on a Friday evening.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking
Am I
about.
talking 12 years
You're
back?
going back with. You're going back into a hornet's nest, a Pandora's box that I don't want you to open. You opened it up last night, and I have people begging me to see videos and begging me to see photographs, and some people criticizing it and saying,
Some
"Oh,
people-
you could allow people to do that." And I'm like, "What the hell?"
So you went through to a degree then.
Yeah, to a degree and a fourth degree in some instances. I guess it has to do with jealousy and
Oh.
it has to do with a lot of factors.
A lot of factors.
But
but
I
then-
am me. That's not going to change.
Yeah, but then again, on
That'll
the
change
other,
when I die.
yeah, but then again, on the other hand, that was then, but now it's a new ball game altogether. Think about it.
What you're trying to tell me, Julian? You're talking parables at time, and this Belmont parable kind of thing you just want to bring in the studio
No,
here.
I'm-
I want you to be straight with me. This kind of parable thing, I'm not into
No,
it.
I'm speaking about the jealousy part, which was 12 years ago. You should be able to get over that.
Oh, that.
You don't think so?
No.
No.
You know what happened?
No, but I am willing to see.
You witnessed it.
No, but I am willing to see a fresh new set of faces.
I am always willing to see a fresh new set of
Yeah.
faces, but I always appreciate the ones that you saw before too.
Oh, yes. I'm
Always maybe seasoned,
No,
but it's
no.
always good to look.
You can never forget.
Yeah.
You can never forget. You can enjoy the new ones, but you can never forget the old ones.
No. That's why I tell you the impact of women on your life. If one sit back and I don't know about other person's sexual development and their development as a young man, but I will tell you about my development. And if it weren't for a certain number of women, I will never be sitting here today with all the experiences that I have, with all the things that I know,
Yeah.
and I was taught by the best.
But yeah.
And I have to say that.
But yeah.
Some of them has gone to the great beyond already,
Yeah.
but I was taught by the best. And not because of old age. Some of what was,
No. Because
unfortunately, snuffed out. Her life was snuffed out last year. And
oh yes, yeah.
So,
I
you know.
recall. But you have good thoughts. That's the most important thing.
But that's what you have to do. You have to embrace those thoughts, and you have to
Yeah.
embrace the things that you experience. Hello, good night, Jenna. How are you? Still waiting to see you. That's one of the.
Geno.
Yeah, you will remember Jenna. I'll have to remind you during our break.
Okay.
Jenna, I'm sure she could do a good massage, you know. Yeah, I'm sure about that one. You know, for the first thing she'll tell me, I forget how to do that, you know.
No. They always say it's like a bicycle. Once you ride it once, you never forget how to ride.
That's a fact. It's better than a bicycle.
There you go. There you go. Anyway, folks, taking our time, 8 minutes after 10 o'clock. Don't forget, folks, our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj. 222-8255, also at 612-8255. You can send in your WhatsApp or your text messages on his private mobile 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining, and it's all happening right here this Friday evening on Power 102.1 FM exclusively.
There are individuals who may be in a situation where the husband is unable to fulfill the desires of the wife, but they don't want to step out of the marriage. Absolutely nothing. They don't want a lover outside, they don't want to horn their husband and whatnot. And we have to understand that also. And so there are lots of women out there who lives in frustration.
Yeah.
And where I sit and what I see on a daily basis, there are a tremendous amount of women out there in Trinidad and Tobago who are living a life of frustration. And that should not be so.
Yeah, that's...
they are totally frustrated by the way things are happening in their lives with their partner. They resort to masturbation to a point, and sometimes they give up with masturbation because they want the feel and touch of a man. They want the penetration of a man, so they don't want to use a toy. There are some women who don't want to hear about using a toy. There are some women who want to feel a man kissing them or holding them, and they don't get it.
But let me ask you, could one of the reasons be self-confidence in the individual?
Yes. Some men lack the self-confidence. You mean on the woman's part stepping out, or the man's part?
On the woman's part stepping out.
Yeah, there are some women who are afraid to step out because they don't like the way their body looks. They think that the aging process works against them. They have a little gray hair, or their boobs don't stand up as the way it should. They have some stretch marks, and because of those things, they're afraid, or they don't have the self-confidence to step out and get a partner.
Yeah.
Because they think that they're going to be judged. If you're going with a woman after a certain age who have 2 or 3 children, you expect that she's going to be like a brand new car? No. You have to mentally prepare yourself that I am going to get someone who has have experiences in life that are going to leave scar tissues and leave marks on the person.
Yeah.
It's the very same thing if she's coming to you and you're 90-something years of age. I don't mean you see, you're laughing now. I don't mean you are 90-something. You're close to it, but not there.
No, 96.
69. The person must expect to see certain things. Right? There are individuals who will dye the hair on their head because they got grey at 35. I remember a friend of mine, he got grey in his 20s. Grey hair is something that comes on. We have no control over it, so they will dye your hair. But you can't dye your hair down there. All right?
No.
So you will see the battle scars. You will see the things that will tell you this person has some age. But isn't that what you should expect, and this is what you should embrace? The vagina is there, the vagina is working, the breast is there, the breast is working. It may not be as perky as a 18 or 20-year-old or 25-year-old, but it's there.
Yeah, but this is one of the reasons why too as well, right? Because while your spouse is getting older, don't forget you have the young ones coming up that is vibrant, and some of them are very, very tempting. And I'm pretty sure with your line of work as a professional, you've passed through things like that already.
All the time.
But there you go.
Kishore has made a point here. Some women don't step out because of love and respect for themselves. Yes, but not only themselves, their partner, their marriage. They take their vows seriously. They take their relationship in such a manner that they don't step out. But there are some women who don't step out because of self-esteem. So there are many different reasons why women wouldn't step out of a relationship. Some women don't step out because they're afraid of STDs and STIs, and they don't know what they're going to get out there, and they're afraid of falling in love. And women do fall in love because sex for women are an emotional thing. For us, it's physical. So that's why sometimes in sex therapy, I understand that you point about it being emotional for the woman, and some of them become emotionally attached. But you have to break that attachment in some way or the other, because the emotion runs so high, they fall in love with you. because you're doing an intimate act with them, which is sex therapy.
Yeah.
And their equation of sex is emotional.
Yeah.
So I understand that very well. But the emotional part of me, it doesn't get involved. That is totally switched off. That is not there, it doesn't exist. So a person might want you to say certain words like love and honey and darling and sweetheart and those kind of things. When that doesn't exist from you to that person, because you understand that if you start using those words, it becomes emotional. Now, one of the problems we have with our young generation, it's very easy for a young person to tell another young person by text or whatever, love you. Or sweetheart, how you doing? Or darling. But the word loses its meaning when you start using it in a superficial way. The word's supposed to be used in a way that is endearing. So when you are with your loved one and you say love, or honey, or darling, or sweetheart, the word has meaning. Or babe, or whatever word you want to use, that word has meaning. As opposed to using it every day with everyone, and the word loses its meaning. So when you feel an attachment to someone, a physical attraction to someone, a chemistry between you and a person, the endearing word should come out to express how you feel with that person. So when a client comes, those words doesn't exist with me and the client, cannot exist. Because I could understand how a woman could be physically, emotionally, mentally, and sexually attracted to you, and you can't shake that off. You cannot shake it off, even if you want to. I always say, when a woman has her sights set on you, it's like a cruise missile. What's a cruise missile? A cruise missile, once that arrow hits you,
don't miss at all.
no matter where you go, that cruise missile will find you. You go and hide behind a mountain, it's going to go over the mountain and come here and find you. That's how women are out there, like cruise missiles.
So if somebody watches you and they have feelings to you, don't know.
When a
So
woman
time-
sets
so
her
time
sight,
matters?
no. When a woman meets you for the first time, she knows whether she's going to have sex with you or not. Her body tells her that, emotions tell her that, her mind tells her that, Now this is one man I would like to give it to him. But there are so many things that stop her from doing it, especially that thing called their emotional side.
But eventually it happens.
If it works out, because now it's up to you as the man to make it will happen. She's not going to come and say, hey, take it.
Yeah.
She knows she's going to give it to you.
You have to work
but
for
you
it.
have to work for it. Whereas with men, we want it from everyone, and we're not willing to put in the work.
Our mentality is completely different when coming to
Completely
sex.
different, and that's where the problem comes in.
Want to continue that nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education. We do practice what we preach when it comes to sex. You are listening to Sexplosion on this Friday evening with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center located in St. Augustine. For those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone, our lines are open at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you're sending in a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 7401961. Due to the mature subject of this program, parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
Pleasant good evening to Mira. She's locked on. Indra, I know you were locked on. I don't know if you're still locked on. And Indra is one hot 50-year-old.
Her second name starts with a H.
What are you asking my business
No,
for?
no, because I want to know if it's the same person that I know.
I don't know if it's the same person you know. She had teeth in she mouth?
Yes.
She have a nose on she face?
Yeah.
That's the same woman.
Yeah. If it's the same person, I think
Eh.
I have her as a friend on Facebook and some pics.
I know
and
who you're
some
talking about. I
pics.
know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
That woman hot too bad.
I'm telling you
That
some.
woman hot too bad.
Some.
Yes, her last name starts with H.
Okay. Okay.
But it's not the same person. It's not the same person. But I know who you're talking about.
You know. You know.
Yeah, she played Juve.
Yeah. Boy.
Black outfit.
Yeah, that's. If it was a game show, you wouldn't afraid. That's correct.
Could I get the microwave instead?
No, a beautiful woman, man.
Sexy like hell.
Yeah.
You have good taste, if it's one thing, I must say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Hi, Ola, UFO here now, taking in the program. Now and tomorrow is my birthday. Adios. Happy birthday to you, UFO.
Yes,
How many
UFO.
years you have been telling us
Wow.
that? Your birthday is always around this time of
Yes,
the year.
yeah.
So we remember that, and a pleasant good evening to you, and I hope you have a ball and a good time. I know you're in Mayaro area.
Yes, the average
And-
listener.
and the,
He's been with us for quite some
yeah,
time.
very ardent listener to the program, so yes. Martin says, hi, Dr. Raj, good information as usual. Thank you very much for that. I see one of my cousins are on, Rodney. Shane is also on fire. Geeta, Dana, Ravi. Yes, so wait a minute. I didn't check to see if one person is on, and she's not on. Huh?
She's not on.
No, she's not on.
I wonder
I
why.
am disappointed.
Foreign?
Is she foreign?
Yeah. You're minding my business.
No. I know if I say yes, you will say foreign news.
No, no, no. No, no, no. She's here, right? She's in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
Right?
I just asked her where she is because
Yeah.
I just look forward to having her on the program.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Where are you, darling?
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, I'm looking forward to seeing that person.
Yeah.
Was she coming by donkey cart or?
Sure.
Yeah. Now I'm looking forward, but I love your instructions. Yeah, I couldn't have done that. But by the meantime, we're here. What about telling us about DB, that
Oh yeah, I'll be there on Tuesday. For
On
those of you who
Tuesday,
want to come and
yeah.
meet me at the clinic in Debe. That's at Shops of Debe, 172 SS Erin Road. Very easy to find. It's on the main road itself. So for those of you who want to be there and see me from 11 o'clock, you
11
can
o'clock.
also call. You can also call the center.
yeah.
I'll give you the number in a few seconds.
But what are some-
I keep telling you, Junior, in those cue cards that you have there, you should have the number written down.
I know.
I tell you, my brain is not designed to.
I wonder.
3665843.
But I could have told you that.
366.
3665843.
Well, right, you have it.
I must.
And you're waiting for me to fight up to get it.
You sound better. You sound better with it. So, for those of you who would love to call the DB, the telephone number there, 3665843, and Dr. Raj, he will be there on Tuesday. But what are some of the things that they do at the DB branch?
Well, we do the therapy there. I do consultation. I am working with Dr. Maharaj also to be there some days in the week. Right now, we're putting it together. I see clients there on a weekly basis every Tuesday. I try to be there on a Tuesday. I may have to change that up as time goes by because there are so many things that's happening. We have a lot of persons in the Barrackpore, Penal, Rio Claro, Princestown, Point Fortin, Bonas, Cedras, Fullerton area that wants to come to the clinic and they find it difficult to come up to St. Augustine, so they come to the clinic in Debe. There are lots of individuals whose husband wouldn't allow them to come to St. Augustine, but it's easier for them to come to the clinic in Debe. Persons with fertility issues, erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, women with polycystic ovaries, women with issues with STDs, STIs, fertility issues, you name it, we do it here. Everything. Everything. It's a full-fledged clinic, just as you have one in St. Augustine. We don't have all the equipment and things that we have in St. Augustine, but we're getting there. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 months, we'll have everything that we need for a full-fledged clinic there, and we'll be able to do every single thing you dream about.
They do massages up there?
They
as
do
well?
massages to a point, but as long as it's a therapeutical kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How to come and get one or no?
You have an open invitation as far as I know, you know.
Yeah. I have to. I have to. Because I find the back giving me some.
I feel you have to get a grandi together.
I find the family may be hungry and not starving, I know. No, but the back giving me
You
some
know what I'm
trouble.
talking about?
I know exactly where you're coming from. I know exactly where you're coming from. Once upon a time. But I have having some back problems. I have to get one of those serious I don't know, maybe because of age, yeah? I don't know, maybe because...
Arthritis?
No, I find I'm getting a little...
Don't have anybody walking on your back at this age, eh? You don't want to have bones going out of the place.
So there's something like that happen only a crack. I only in crack, I don't know that happen at all.
Have you ever had a Vietnamese massage?
Vietnamese massage.
They tell you
No.
what a painful massage?
Yeah.
A very painful massage. It is very painful.
Mhm.
But boy, when they're done, oh my God.
But I'm glad you mentioned that. When we're speaking in terms of massages, how many different massages that...
Every country has a different technique.
Uh-huh.
We have developed some techniques here in Trinidad. I have developed techniques here in Trinidad, so there are different techniques in every country. Take that call,
Okay, what
and we'll get into it.
Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Next one.
Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Yeah. Family,
Yeah.
good evening.
Hi.
Good evening.
Raj, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Raj, I want to buy a Gisha doll, boy. Never give some drums tonight. It only kicks on, eh? Raj, will you believe that conversation you had the other night? And you locked me off. I now come in and put you on. Let me tell you something. That come from Siddhi Satcha. One of your guru books,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, brother. And this rude boy, family,
Yeah, well, he rude too bad.
oh God, what you want to buy? Here, when you done with him, oh God, boy.
Me done with him? No, partner.
Then, I want to kick say with all
Junior is my senior, you know, wait. Junior, listen to this. No, listen to this.
Right.
Junior is my
Yeah.
senior, you know, I just learned from him.
What he does?
He's a guru, he's a teacher.
But I want to tell him, is 88. He ate her and he ate her. She ate him and he ate her. So
88.
he ate, Hey, sit down. I'm going.
Sit down.
Okay,
I will
family.
talk to you.
Mhm.
I will talk to you. I'll come and check you, boy.
All
I
right.
hear, what about Ramesh, boy?
Ramesh, okay?
You know who?
Yes.
All right, okay, good. Sit down.
Sit down.
Okay. Anyway, folks, taking return 25 minutes after 10 o'clock. Sexplosion, right here on Power 102.1 FM. Sexologist, Dr. Raj Ramnanan. Our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone. Feel free. 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. For those of you sending in your WhatsApp or your text messages, you can also do that, and you only give it 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM. Yeah.
You know, you talk about Ramesh. Ramesh was my cousin. We were very close. We were really, really close at one time. But I didn't see him for years. So recently I went to a funeral for one of our cousins who died in New Jersey. So I'm checking in at the hotel. And while checking in, this guy is standing next to me and looking at me in this funny way. So I said, who is this little white man watching me so well? You know, it's my cousin Ramesh. But he has transformed totally from
Completely.
how I know him
Yeah.
to this short little white man, because he's living in Canada. And it's only when I saw his wife next to him, I said, wait a minute, that's my cousin.
Well, that's almost no
Then it dawned on me who it was.
Yeah, but how
Kishore will
many,
know about that.
how many years have you prior to that have seen?
The last time I saw him was somewhere in the 90s, for his mother funeral, I think. Danny says, good night, doctor. I have a question, of course. Go ahead. And Kishore is laughing. Kishore, remember the kicks we had with that boy? Ah, yes. Oh, he's typing his question. But because I'm the eldest son to my father, my cousins are much older from my father's side, my cousins. I am like somewhere in between, but I keep in touch with all of them, all my cousins who are much older than I am and whatnot, because I believe in family. I believe that you should keep in touch and you have to maintain that link and whatnot. It's just the way I am. And that's the love I have.
Family is important.
Yeah. I remember spending many wonderful time with him in Ottawa. I always ask him how the hell you could live in this icebox.
Yeah, that's
I was asking somebody that tonight on the way to the program, how could you live in that icebox?
Yeah.
And she says it's very difficult.
Yeah, but as a matter of fact, when you're thinking in terms of living in the icebox and you're thinking of something that is sexual, I mean, you can enjoy sex.
Kishore says he's the cream of the crop. He's beyond the cream of the crop.
You can enjoy sex much better in the icebox, eh?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
I've never had sex in the icebox.
No, in the cold. No, as far as where the cold country is.
I know what you mean.
Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Raj, how old am I supposed to be now, boy?
Ooh, 70s, late 70s.
I'm 72.
Well, he'll be in mid 70s.
No, he will be no. He had to be about 73, 74.
Yeah, mid 70s.
Yeah, because remember I was smaller too, eh? And in El Dorado now.
Yeah, in El Dorado, where you still live here.
Yeah, we used
Hey,
to live
Kishore,
right
Kishore, what? Hold on. Kishore, what is Ramesh's age? Kishore should know that. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, well, he will be in his yeah, he will be in his 70s, mid 70s.
we used to work penthouse together, so.
Well, yeah, oh God, those were the days when he tell me some stories about penthouse, mister.
No, you know I talking about Rajo. You know.
Yeah, penthouse
And
Charlie.
Belbagay, you know, right?
Uh-huh.
Selling the ribbon and thing outside.
He's 77. Kishore said he's 77. Yeah.
Nagis, I was saying.
You hear me?
Yeah, bro.
77.
77. Oh, gosh, he's an antique then. But he's looking good still.
He's 2 years younger than Lalo, which is our other cousin who got in an accident.
Yeah. Lalo still there?
Yeah, you know he lost one of his legs in an accident 2 weeks ago.
I don't know, because sometimes you're talking, I like cracking up here, you know. Right? When I say cracking up, laughing now. Because you talk about the family.
Well, I have to talk about the family. Who else go talk about it? I have to talk about them.
Your father, teacher, and you talk about the principal, we'll go home Sunday morning. Who's the principal?
Dipchad?
The principal.
Which
from
one?
The school I went to, what name?
Oh, Chun.
No, boy. The man who had the school, the private school I owed by. Ojo, not Ojo Road.
No, he didn't. You talking about Yuma? Miss Yuna school? Or, no, the one on Ojo was shown by.
No, boy, a Negro man and the dicky principal, I want to teach and make me white.
Oh, Decent. Mr. Decent.
Gerald father.
Das.
Gerald, Christian Gerald.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll go on. I don't want to know it. But I don't mix it up with you.
Decent.
I want to live you up tonight now.
All right.
Family,
family.
That wasn't Carnival this year. And that wasn't Kambuli.
Yeah,
right?
true.
Family?
Yes.
That wasn't Kambuli.
No. What it was? What you?
That was. Here what is it? Raise your hand and whine. Hey, in the middle of the show, the finale, they say good night. Listen, I'm sorry I don't want to criticize my boy.
Here, what Coleman Jr. on his program and deal with that, eh? We deal with sex right now.
Me and Raj say, be crazy, the best thing in the world. Rajo? Right, I'll go on.
Okay, family. Anyway, folks, taking our time 29 minutes before 11 o'clock on the inside of Sexplosion on this Friday evening. Our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center located in St. Augustine, 222-8255. Also at 612-8255.
You see how your brain does operate? The minute he says Ojo Road, I didn't think about Ojo Road at the beginning. Ojo Road starts from the roundabout in Sangre Grande and goes all the way up to Northeastern College. Right? That's the length of the road. Of course, Northeastern College is off Ojo Road, Graham Trace. But the minute he says Ojo Road and school, I thought of the Hindu school at the back of the temple and Miss Yuna.
Oh.
I thought about upper Ojo Road, not the lower part
Not
of
the
Ojo
lower
Road.
part.
That's how my brain operated, because I born and grew up on the upper part, Sukram Village.
Yeah.
So everything in my mind, from the time you say Ojo Road, is Sukram Village.
You think about the lower part?
No, the upper part.
The upper part, yeah. The upper part.
Past Bokmaya Hill. So from the time I hear Ojo Road, my brain just goes straight to Sukram Village. Nowhere else. From Barat Shop, for those from Sukram Village will know what I'm talking about, or even the road before that, to the hospital. That is, to me, is Ojo Road.
Okay.
Although Ojo Road starts all the way down at the police station.
But that is
But because I grew up there.
You grew up on that area.
So when he said Ojo Road, my mind went to the Hindu school in the Kutia, who the principal was teacher Chun, and the Miss Yuna. So I was wondering who he talking about. It's only when he say, well, he take what a student that makes you. I don't know who exactly we talking about.
Oh.
History, boy, history.
I'm telling you.
Arlene says, pleasant good night, doctor. My husband and I are always locked on. Thank you very much, Arlene. I'm happy to hear that. What part of Trinidad you all are from?
Well, I can tell you, taking return 26 minutes before 11 o'clock. I tell you, you are making radio an experience by itself when you are listening to Sexplosion right here on Power 102.1 FM. And for those of you who are listening to Sexplosion for the very first time, Sexplosion is featured here on Power 102.1 FM every Thursday and Friday evening. On a Thursday from 7 until 9 o'clock, and on a Friday from 9. With the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, located in St. Augustine, where he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Now, for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone, some of you might have something sexual that is bothering you. Well, I can tell you, this is the forum for it. Simply 222-8255, 612-8255. And for those of you sending in WhatsApp messages and text messages, 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM.
Your brain is designed in such a way that whatever you're doing, it extends and it wraps around certain things that you're doing. So if you're a mathematician, your brain extends into mathematics, and you will understand things about mathematics that other persons will find difficult.
Yeah.
Because you start going down that road. It's like an artist, not an artist, an artist who's painting. Right? He or she will paint, and they will see visions on a canvas. They will watch an empty wall there, and they will see something that you cannot see. And they will paint something on that. A musician, the same thing. So when persons ask me, well, how do you get versed in sexology and things like that? I tell them, I said, it's not theoretical, it's practical. It's what you have done, it's what you do, it's the experiences that you have, it's what you teach yourself, it's what you allow others to teach you. You have to have an open mind, and your brain must be an open book, and people are writing things in it all the time. And that is what makes it so fantastic. That is why it is something that expands and it changes all the time. It's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. Yep. It's not static at all. Or stagnant, no. Very dynamic. And Arlene says they are from Kelly Village.
Oh, there we have all the beautiful women.
Yes.
That's in Chagonas.
Well, no.
I'm just asking.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not in Chagonas. It's on the way to Chagonas. If you come from Granby or Piaco.
Okay.
You can pass through Kelly Village.
Oh, you pass through.
Right, to get to Caroni.
Okay. See, I know my
I have to take you wrong again, and have you with a map and say, Junior, this is so and so, this is so and so, this is so and so.
I know my country.
Take it to Sangre Grande and introduce it to your family in Grande.
Yeah. Even though I know the Valencia stretch. I know that for a fact.
Well, if you know the Valencia stretch, something
Something
wrong.
Well, exactly. Anyway, folks, taking return, it's now 22 minutes before 11 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102 FM with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Like you're taking this thing back, boy. So like you're taking it back.
You know, that's why.
Hi, Marisha.
No, that's why. I didn't have a break.
I know.
That's good.
I know. But you need to.
Yeah.
We want to kill you.
102 FM
Home Champions 94
and Vemcott
present Think Twice.
Think Twice.
We
You have to be able to read the
and promote
plate.
safety on the nation's roads.
Think twice on the roads, in your cars, for our pedestrians and cyclists.
Think twice before you drive, act, and go about your daily lives.
Every life is precious, and we must each do our part to preserve lives on the roads of Trinidad and Tobago.
Think twice.
Every day, we give you life-saving tips and advice on how you can safely use our roads and highways in Trinidad and Tobago. We also invite you to download this safety app, which you can use to share messages and information in your very own private networks between family and friends and co-workers, all to keep each other safer.
Think twice.
Brought to you by the Vehicle Management Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, Vemcott, in association with Arrive Alive and the TTPS, Neil and Massey North Credit Union, the Galette Group of Companies, Agricola Credit Union, and Computers and Controls.
Think twice.
Think twice.
Safety for you and your family.
Think twice.
And a safer Trinidad and Tobago.
Are the problems and destructive anxieties of today tearing you apart? If there was ever a time to readjust your priorities and refocus your vision, it's now. Join Pastor Wayne Sampson on the Vision for devotional program every Monday from 5:30 to 6 a.m. right here on Power 102 FM. Jesus is the only one who can give you peace in the midst of today's storm.
Carnival 2019 has been heralded
And there's
in
our
many
United
regards
Champs
as
on
one of
it,
the
though.
best in
Allow that?
decades.
Yeah.
There are many elements of Carnival,
Allow
including
that
mass,
Saturday after Carnival.
band, chutney, calypso, soca, national security, and for the
I
most
used to go
part,
talk to them,
they
but
all received
kinda
glowing
get bored.
reviews. Power 102 presents In Focus, Carnival
What's
2019
its thing
review,
about 10
with an
years ago?
examination of triumphs and challenges of this national festival. Join us this Wednesday as we speak to the many stakeholders, participants, and victors that contributed to what we call the greatest show on earth. In Focus, Carnival 2019 review, this Wednesday on Power 102, empowering you.
I want to continue that we are giving our listeners what they want and expect from a good radio program when it comes to sex education, right here on Power 102 FM. Taking sex education where it has never been before with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj, of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center located in St. Augustine, where he do treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. For those of you who would love to interact with him, this is the forum for it, especially if something is on your mind that is sexual, that is really, really bothering you, and you need to get answers to. I can tell you. All you've got to do is give him a call. He's in studio right now. 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. And just to remind callers that when you call him, you know, some of you might think that you have to give your name on air. That's not necessary. We don't ask for your names, but if you do want to give your name, you are free to do so. Now, if you want to send in a WhatsApp or a text message, maybe you are a bit shy to hear your voice on radio, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961.
Someone says, I enjoy your program. Chanmati here. She's in Sangre Grande. Thank you very much, Chanmati. And we have 20 minutes again, 19 minutes again.
19.
So please calling, please join us on the program. I hope all your boil on like Baji, you know.
No, well, I hope so.
We start off with a set of people at the beginning and all of a sudden boiling on like Baji.
No, the thing about it is that there's so many people that that is listening that you hear from on the website and from WhatsApp. And don't tell me none of these people
Have phone to call.
have phone or have a question.
But see, they tell you they have no credit on the phone.
because it gives me the impression that everybody that is listening to the program have a perfect love life, which I mean,
It's possible.
You think so?
It's possible. You never know.
I don't feel so.
Well, they could share that with us, you know.
I
I have nothing to say bad about my relationship. It's perfect. Everything is good. I get total satisfaction and I'm happy.
Yeah, but then again, on the other hand, when the program finishes, you say, I wanted to call him, but I'm so afraid. So, what we're going to do is go to the lines. Hello, and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Lovely program as usual. Faizabad on the line.
Faizabad, how are you?
I did as relaxing with one foot up on top of the couch. My lady just gave me butter and 2 tea.
Oh, God.
And a cup of hot Lipton.
Well, I have any hot Lipton here, but we have the roti and the butter.
No, we don't.
Wonderful program, guys. Always locked on and listening.
Thank you very much. I love the description of how you relax, you know, foot up on the couch.
Yes, it's really wonderful, Dr. Raj. What you do here, money really can't pay for this.
Well, thank you very much.
Listen to Dr. Raj. Listen to Power 102. This station carry a range of different products.
Oh yeah, we have that is a fact. We have the most balanced programming ever. And we touch on
Dr.
everything.
Raj, a gentleman just spoke to you and said, Sitaram, I am also Hindu. But that doesn't make me prejudiced because this station do carry a wealth of information.
I know a lot of Hindus listen to this program. I mean, this station. I know that. Don't. I know that people may have a wrong idea about who listens to Power 102, the demographics. But I know the true demographics. I meet people in Ramayana Yajnas and weddings and whatnot, and they all listen to the program.
It's a wonderful program. It's a wonderful station. Skippy Barrington, Thomas, those are my favorite times. I do enjoy these guys. I enjoy the lovely calypsos. Not the madness we had at the call calypso.
No, but that's one thing you can get here. You get calypsos on this station.
Yeah.
Junior was killing me with calypsos going up last night, and I love it.
Chucky sang I hung up my guns again. You remember that tune?
Yes. That was in the 70s. I put on my guns again.
Those were tunes, man. You
Yes.
don't hear them thing anymore.
No, you don't.
But I'll hear it on Power 102.
Yeah, that's true. Mac Daddy loves to play old-time calypso.
Oh yes, that family. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Mac Daddy, he's a king with that. And Junior kept me entertained going home last night. I just love it. Old taboo and thing, boy.
Yeah.
You guys have a wonderful evening, man.
Thank you. And thanks for the endorsement. We love it.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, family. Thanks for calling.
And that's my payment. You know, he said that you cannot pay for this. That's my payment. When person says good things about us and the
That's
station and whatnot.
Okay, what we are going to do is go back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hi, good evening. Could you just pull the volume down just a bit on your phone? Or radios, beg your pardon. Oh.
She pull it down. She pull it down, boy.
She put on the phone, all right. 2228255. That's 2228255. Also at 6128255. You are listening to Sexplosion right here on Power 102 FM. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hello, good night.
Hi.
Hi, good evening.
I'm not hearing clear.
I'm hearing you. You go ahead.
Okay. I am almost 55 years.
Don't try to wait.
With control, that's named Depo-Provera.
Don't.
And I have no sexual desires at all.
Yeah, but don't listen to us on the radio. Turn the radio down and listen to us on the telephone, please.
No, that's an event next door.
Oh, our event next door. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we get the feedback here.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, sometimes if you take a shot for that will interfere with your hormones, it could destroy your sex life.
I think I'm also going into premenopause.
How old are you?
I have 55.
Right.
Yeah. I have no sexual desires at all.
Well, that could be brought back, you know. There are things like, there's something called Max Desire. There's another product called Lusty Libido, Probido. There are clitoral creams that you could apply to the vagina to bring back the hormone levels to help you.
Yes, I am always dry.
Well, see me at the Adult Therapy Center and I could recommend something for you.
Okay, I'll call. I don't have the number for this.
645-4543.
Okay, thank you.
Someone is there now. You can make an appointment.
Well, thanks a lot for calling. Well, folks, taking your time, it's now 12 minutes to be for 11 o'clock on the inside. Sexplosion, feel free, interact with us via the telephone. Dr. Raj is right here to answer any question that might be bothering you, that is on your mind, that is sexual. 222-8255, also at 612-8255.
You know, Junior, some persons enjoy vanilla sex. And you know what I call vanilla sex? You're supposed to have sex with your husband, or you're supposed to have sex with your wife. You go and you say, girl, let me get a little thing now. You jump on the box, 2 chook, and you're done. That's vanilla sex.
That's vanilla sex.
Yeah. There's no excitement, there's no foreplay, there's no love making, there's nothing to stimulate your mind, to take you into a different realm. And if you're doing vanilla sex and have not experienced the mind-blowing sex that they have out there, that starts in your mind, in your brain, and there's no one to pull that out, you have gone through life missing out on a lot.
But I think foreplay and oral sex before having actual penetration is important.
It is important, but some persons don't know how to go about doing it.
It's very, very important.
So you have to know the techniques, and you have to know how to go about doing it, the caressing. For example, oral sex on a woman is something that, if done right, it could drive a woman up a wall.
Mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. You could get that clitoris so stimulated that she's lubricating like crazy. You play with the G-spot, you perform on the labia, you perform on the Mount Venus. You do things with your tongue, you do things with your lips, you do things to that woman that is just going to be mind-blowing.
And the thing about it is that you stretch out the love making rather than a quick joke.
You know, if you ask anybody, sex is a wonderful thing. They say, oh God, it's the best thing in the world. So why do you want it to finish fast? Why do you want it to finish fast? Why you go and just do 2 chook and you're done?
That's why oral is...
right, so you're right.
So
bring that into the party and bring that into the play and make it part of what you're doing and enjoy it to the fullest.
Yeah, you have to make your partner feel so relaxed after that they want to take a nap. With that tiredness. And I'm sure, I mean, as a professional, you have encountered that many times before.
Taking a nap?
No.
No. Oh God, Julia, I must have a file. Yeah, many times I fall asleep on the box.
You?
Yeah, many times I fall asleep on the box. Wake me up when it's over.
How many years I know you? But how many years I know you now?
20-something years.
20-something years. I know you're not capable of dropping asleep.
Okay.
I know that for a fact.
Thanks for the endorsement, but
no, I know.
I'm a fool.
I know that for a fact.
Hi, good night. Wonderful program. Kumar here. Question: what causes low semen in a man and how to increase it? Your sperm count could decrease because of a number of factors. Lowering of your testosterone, working in a chemical environment, certain types of fruits and vegetables could cause it to decrease. Certain type of medication could cause it to decrease. Smoking cigarettes could definitely cause it to decrease. Alcohol content, there are a number of things that could cause your semen to decrease.
Like someone was asking me the other day, what
was it Avian? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, you
No, a beautiful, no, I you know. And for anyone who is listening and is working at Surgical at the Alice,
please tell her that I say hello.
Please tell Avion that I said, you know, family centers are a very special night time. Yeah.
You look like you're going to sleep with a smile on your face tonight.
Oh yeah.
You have a picture?
Avian.
You have a picture?
No,
You have a picture?
No, boy. But I can visualize
I mean, if you have a picture in your brain.
Oh yeah.
But download it and let me print it.
Yeah, beautiful. So if anyone who is working at Surgical in Alice Glen, tell Avian Family Center say a beautiful night. Now, what I was about to ask you before I got into Avian, some people was asking me, what are some of the things that you can take to build up your sperm count?
There are a number of things that you can do, but you have to, you see, that's why it's called a semen analysis. If someone looks at your semen analysis, that when you go and do a sperm count, there's something, there are figures inside of there that will tell an expert what you should and should not do. So sometimes you have a low sperm count, but you go and do the wrong things. If you have a low sperm count because of your testosterone levels being low, you have to build your testosterone levels first before your sperm count will build. And you cannot build both at the same time.
Cannot be done.
There are lots of things, there are a lot of trick to the trade that we don't give out. Because persons will want to pretend that they're expert in the area when they're not, especially that madman. Sometimes he listens to this program to get idea. So we don't give out all these secrets.
No, but that has only...
There are certain herbs out there. If you use it, it will kill your sperm. Yeah. But it's very good for you for other things. But if you use it, it kills your sperm.
So you got to be careful.
You have to be careful. Like everything else.
Yeah.
So once it's properly assessed, you know what a person needs to do. It might be dietary, it might be exercise, it might be other things, it might be injection, whatever it may be. Then you start putting that person on a program to increase their sperm.
And we do that at the
adult therapy center, both in Davie and Santa Cruz.
Yeah. That's great.
So that's what we do. But a lot of time persons don't understand that. They think that it's a simple process. It's not a simple process. Not.
And apart from that, of recently here, I know for a fact that the adult therapy center, they treat diabetes.
Yes, we definitely. Well, what happens is with the doctor there now, he's treating the symptoms of diabetes and all the ill effects on the nervous system, the nerve ending and the circulatory system. Persons with pain management who need pain management and whatnot, he does that also. Nervous disorder, psoriasis, phimosis, which is curvature of the penis, things of a sexual nature with women and men, and I work hand in hand with him with that. So he do the medical part and I do the physical part.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't step into the medical realm.
No. I know that for a fact. Anyway, taking return 5 minutes before 11 o'clock, you are listening to the magic of sex education, and it's exclusively on Power 102 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Imaging, the Adult Therapy Center, located in St. Augustine, where he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. If you would love to interact with him, maybe something on your mind that is bothering you that is sexual, well, he's right here, sitting right next to me here. You can give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255.
RM says she hate the fasting.
Yeah.
I would definitely hate the fasting too. And someone says, I can't say who it is, good night, off to bed, going to play with my toy. Your program makes me hot. Tell Junior good night. Junior, good night.
Hi.
And this person says, sometimes a quick sex is one of the best. Well, a quickie is one of the best if you're getting good sex. But if you're not getting good sex, a quickie can be the best thing.
No, well, a quickie is a good thing if you're tipping a chance.
Yeah, if it's, go on.
And if you're
in a compromising position.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you something, Junior. Don't say anything.
Yeah.
And
it could be an advantage and it could be a disadvantage.
Good. I was told to show you that.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, of course.
You know something? If I bounce up that in a dream, don't wake me up.
I don't want to wake up either.
No.
I want to come in your dream.
No, don't wake me up at all.
No, I come in your dream.
I'm telling you. Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I know my guess. Make you come in my dream, and my guess I can't but appreciate it. It's something like that.
Take that call.
I don't mind taking seconds. Believe you me. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Yeah, hello. I'd like Dr. Raj to explain what is all that are whining for carnival, how a person body. Like in the waist and the hip and all the muscles that involved in sex something.
Well, if the person is not physically fit, they're going to have lactic acid buildup and they're going to get pain and they're going to get spasm in the back and spasm in the legs and whatnot. As Junior said, when he was going home from the band, he saw all these old people holding their waist and their back and whatnot. Whining doesn't is not exclusive to carnival, you know. Whining is something that is in our culture, whether it be East Indian culture, African culture, whatever. Dancing is part of our life. As a matter of fact, dancing, it doesn't matter what culture you come from, dancing is part of it. But whining for carnival, some people overdo it. They might be overweight, they may not be fit.
Exactly what
Yeah, well, if a person, if you overdo anything, you're going to pay the consequences of it.
Yeah, that's what you explain.
Right. It's going to hurt you. It's going to sometimes cause permanent damage to your structure. Sometimes you end up with a bad knee, a bad back. Some people want to wind down to the ground and they can't go back up. You have to literally get a crane to pick them up off the floor. If that is your thing and that is what happened to you, well, fine. But again, I like to watch people enjoy themselves.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, right? But when they actually have to perform, they wouldn't be, and that must affect them?
Yeah, well, they wouldn't be able to perform because what is going to happen is that you're going to have spasms in the back. You're going to have what we call your whining spring wouldn't be working good.
Yeah, and plus all the muscles in the butt and they all be sprain and strain up and things. It's a real problem.
Well, Junior in real pain and strain right now.
Yeah, but not one of people that you told.
That's right.
People realize that I watch all these soccer artists. For 2 months they're whining. I feel when I go to...
Yeah, but I'm fit for that, you know.
Oh, yeah.
No, don't get tired up, eh?
No, don't get
them
tired.
soccer artists and them fit for that, you know. Them just be in the gym, you know.
You better believe it.
I feel I will still affect them.
No.
No. You have no idea.
No, that don't
Let me tell you something about the power of a crowd. When you're faced with a crowd, you know, before I was talking about the power of one voice and the power of a person. When you face a crowd and you get that energy from that crowd, you could do anything on that stage, you know.
Anything.
I see Marshall dive out into the crowd, you know.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You know what kind of chance you take it there?
What?
I think burnout.
Well, you'll get burnout after a while, but all they need to do is rest and recuperate.
But it will take some time for them to come back.
No, yeah, but when you think...
Okay, a man like Kes, he will take, let's say, 2 or 3 days of rest to come back. A man like Bonji might take a day. A man like Marshall might take half day.
Yeah, these guys train themselves.
But sleep is what they need. All they do is go and sleep.
Yeah.
Physical strain on your body, sleep gets rid of that. Mental strain, sleep alone don't help. All right. So thanks for that contribution. A pleasant good evening to my cousin Kiki again. I don't know why he asked me to call his name. Oh, you mean, is she in the dream? Call his name. Oh. Yeah, we'll call your name, don't worry.
Yeah, you're running third.
Third? A distant third. Like if you go remember him.
As a matter of fact, you're running so far back, we did the binoculars to see you.
Kiki, why if you know who we're talking about, eh? Aye.
Bonje, according to my grandmother.
What can I do to permanently boost my testosterone? You have to come to the Adult Therapy Center for treatment for that. To permanently boost your testosterone level. And we have reached the end of our program. It is 11 o'clock, folks. Right. With that, good night. Until next week. Remember, our program is on next week, Thursday, but we may see something totally different.
Yeah. So just
for Thursday and Friday, but please don't come down on us. We'll try to beam live to you.
Yeah.
So for those of you on Facebook, those of you on Instagram, good night.
Yeah.
And until next week, we'll be back with Sexplosion. You can always send me a text message. Nikki, I hope you're up. You'll know why in a while. Somebody said, the young lady says she like it hot, and of course, you know, that's UFO.
Yeah.
Good night.
You have been listening to Sexplosion here on Power 102.1 FM every Thursday and Friday evening with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj Ramnanan.